You're watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show podcast from the vault.
Buongiorno.
And for those that are watching this because you've seen it on social media, yes, this is the From the Vault that we find out what the argument with the Swan is all about.
Yeah, we've had some interruptions from doing interviews. Like even the most recent one, you interviewing Joel from Killswitch Engage at the weekend.
Yep.
We were backstage in the wings. There were people walking back and forth because that's just how it happens. We tried to set cameras up in such a way that people can walk behind them, but just couldn't do it at the depot.
No.
And there were people carrying lighting rigs, and it's like, you're far more important, and we could, if we wanted to, stop this and edit it out, but we never do, because it just shows that it's real and it's not AI.
And yeah, exactly that. And that seems to be particularly important to Killswitch.
Yes, they're not fans of the AI, are they?
No, not even slightly.
Even though there's no amps on stage or guitar pedal boards or anything, it was all on fractals and computers, which I would imagine at some stage uses some sort of AI to do bits and pieces.
No, I think they're just ones that have decided that they're not going to have the empty cabs up on stage to pretend like they have amps wired up.
That's fair enough. It gives them more space, as we said in the last podcast, to run around. We've had walls of tents come apart and blow into us mid-interview.
Hilarious.
That's probably another From the Vault we could do.
Yeah, we had somebody kick the camera.
Yes, we've had people. We used to have microphones with wires back in the day. When we had to put 50p in the meter to get the thing to record and all that kind of jazz. We've had people trip over the wires. We've had people, we've been sat like this on a sofa interviewing, and someone just perches themselves on the side of the sofa, not realising we're in an interview, and they just thought we were sat talking to Mr. Megastar or Miss Megastar or whoever it is. It's like, you're in our shot.
If you actually watch a lot of interviews quite carefully, they only last for a split second, and I'm far, far more guilty of this than Mike is. But if somebody does walk through the interview, you see like a split second of me throwing the filthiest look at the person that's walked through and then going straight back into...
Because even though there's one of us behind the camera, when we're there to take note of what's being said so we can timestamp it if needs be. We're also making sure the camera stays working, the sound quality is all working and stuff. And we've got to keep our third eye out to go and not actually say stop, because it will be picked up on the microphone.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just get upstaged, and this video is one where I got totally upstaged. And by the end of the festival, it was the talk of the festival, because we told everyone what happened.
Oh, for sure.
And then it came out on video because no one thought it was like, no way that actually happened. And it was just
the band loved it as well. But just to give you a bit of preferencing why we are doing an interview by a lake, is this was when HRH festivals, shall we say before the pay-to-play scandal, they used to...
Even if you're a named artist.
Yes. We actually ended up leaving the brand over that scandal, because we're not going to ever be associated with making bands pay to play. So that's enough said on that. But we used to go to if you're... Hammerfest, which is set at a type of Pontins, Butlins style holiday resort, which is a very UK thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think they do have them in other places around the world. It's like... But
it's a
Wales and definitely like Devon, where we're from in the southwest, it's where people holiday. You get a chalet for the week, and it's
a static caravan.
Yeah, and it's self-contained. You cook, you've got TV in there, and you can literally just stay on site all week.
Yep.
Generally geared towards low-income family holidays, because it's got like bouncy castles and go-karts and
a little bit of things for the whole family.
Yeah, lots of, in the evenings there's
arcades and entertainment,
but there's sing-songs and karaoke's for the adults. But during the day,
done the just like that, not like that, because they were doing Tommy Cooper. Yeah. So that's just like Americans just Google Heidi High and watch 5 minutes of Heidi High. And,
I'm pretty sure it's kind of like summer camp, but for families.
Yeah. All inclusive, on site, and like the one that Hammerfest is at there, we're right next to some water, and as Devoners, we went and checked out the beach and were completely upset by the lack of sand.
But it's also nestled. You have to drive through Snowdonia, which is one of the most beautiful places in Wales.
Yeah,
and in the world. To be fair, it's
stunning. Shout out the Dann photo because he does so much up in Snowdonia because he catches the barrel rolls of the fighter jets.
It's also where fighter jets go to do low-level flight training because the terrain is up and down like this, and then there could be a mountain. A mountain for the UK is this big. A mountain for most places in the world is this big.
Yeah,
but
big, yeah.
It's big enough to, and the valleys are wide enough to be able to do low flying. And our friend Don, the photographer, is good at taking photos and filming some planes that sometimes he can film a plane and he'll spot it because he knows it's coming and you won't hear it until it's overhead and then it just goes
the sound delay on a sonic boom is insane.
He'll be happy that he's got a shout out. He also does wedding photography as well. If you're getting hitched next year, I'm sure you might have some spaces left,
especially if you are a fighter pilot that's getting married. This is the guy for you. Just a funny thing about Snowdonia is it did take me, 3 or 4 times of going there to realise that they aren't actually snow-capped mountains, they are white rock at the top of the mountain. Yeah, that took me quite a few times of going to Hammerfest in Snowdonia to actually realise that it wasn't permanent snow.
Well, this said festival where we did this interview, we did the interview in the brilliant sunshine with the lake behind us and the rolling hills in the distance, and you could see in the interview sleeves up, shorts on kind of thing. Well,
very nice.
That's me all year round.
Yeah, true.
But then the following day we left early because we heard the weather reports, and we drove back through a blizzard, and it's the only time in 18 years of going to gigs with this guy where I was like, dude, you got to pull over, else you're gonna pull over.
Made him car sick for the first time out. It genuinely took me by surprise. Yeah, but it's partly because every corner we were skittering through slush and snow, so it wasn't like the smooth way that we normally do it. It was slidey slide, slidey slide, slidey slide. And do you remember we stopped at a weird little almost cottagey cafe in
there was Christmas all year round there, wasn't it, or something, if I remember right. But I was feeling very, very rough. I wasn't actually sick, but it was you've got to stop else it will be sick.
But somehow I managed to find gluten-free food in that one. In the middle of nowhere, they could do a gluten-free sandwich, because I used to be gluten-free until I actually worked out what's going on with my body.
Well, they probably just, He's one of them from the country or from a city.
Oh yeah, he's from a slitty. Yeah,
it's gluten-free, and that's probably what you got him. I felt sick.
But no, the band that we're talking about that we did at HRH Hammerfest is Alestorm.
World-renowned pirate shanty type of metal band. They sing about sort of pirate things and historic beer, rum, all things that are associated with those kind of stories from galleons and all that kind of stuff, and Blackbeard and all that kind of thing. What they do is they retell historical facts in a pirate way, but in a we don't take ourselves serious kind of way, which is why we had them as an interview, because we don't take ourselves seriously. So it was just basically geared up to talk about their new music, their tours and stuff like that, in a light-hearted banter kind of way. And it was the whole band as well, so it was...
You are actually pinned in the middle of the band.
I am, yeah, and I'm looking quite dapper for a change.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's this interview or one of the other ones that we did with them, but in one interview that we did, and we'll find out if it was this one, is they say that we're still not, we're kind of waiting for somebody to come along and tell us that we don't actually have a career as musicians, because somebody's going to work out that you can't just do pirate metal and talk about beer and rum and sea shanties and actually have a career off of it, because
10 years later they're still going. They're now headlining stages and things like this.
Exactly. So we'll find out if it's that one, but just remember that these guys are very, very down to earth about what they do, and I think this is the interview where they switch in and out of playing like the pirates or being the actual...
They break kayfabe.
They break their kayfabe. And because this one isn't the epic slog that was last week's half-an-hour interview, we are going to be watching it live, so we're going to have a little bit more information when we come back after the interview.
But Should we tell them why why I got upstaged, or should we watch it first? And...
well, we did mention at the start is we're gonna find out from our memories whether it's as epic as we remember. But Mike does actually get sassed and heckled by a swan.
Yes.
Yeah. Shall we roll tape?
Let's rotate.
Let's roll tape.
Right, it's Mike from the Mike James Rock Show. It's day 2 for us here at Hammerfest. Alestorm have joined us. How's it going, gentlemen?
Hello.
Hello.
It's going good, please.
It's going hello. It's going good.
We saw dogs, and that was great. And there's a
cheered
swan
me up
behind
no
us.
end.
Look at the photo bomb by Swan, like.
Oh, is there a swan?
Yeah, there's swans and all sorts going on
The
here.
wings up and everything, like, oh, is this television?
Posh prick.
Welcome to Hammerfest. How's it going?
Oh, it's grand.
Yeah.
You just asked us that.
I did, but we got disturbed by a swan, so we'll just go for it.
Very distracting bird, aren't they?
They are, man. Majestic. You guys are here. I'm hoping you're going to be playing some new stuff off the album. Are you going to debut anything new?
Yeah, one song.
Yeah.
At least
One
one
song.
song. I mean, we probably could have done more, but it's only a limit to what people know. Then just stand there with blank stares.
You don't want to play too many
Stop
songs,
being
new
new
songs.
People don't want to hear new songs a
They
lot of
don't.
the time.
They think they do, but then halfway through they're like, I don't know this. Can't
So I
sing
can't
along.
jump up and down and do weird stuff.
They've got to concentrate.
We'll do one and they'll enjoy that. We'll make them enjoy that.
Does that then put the pressure on when you do a tour after the album's released to like try and get all the tracks out to see how they react?
Only for the first show or two.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like a whole bunch of songs you never played before, and we don't ever rehearse.
It's weirder for us than it is for the fans, because presumably they've bought the CD, they knew all the new songs.
You can have a wee
But-
guess though whenever we're in the actual studio going, I think they're going to like this one.
Yeah.
Because you can sing and it's 4 minutes
Yeah,
long,
usually-
If you're like, oh, this is 10 minutes long, and it gets a bit widdly and a bit long, then,
No one wants to hear that song.
No.
So you can guess what's going to be popular.
That's fair enough. The album's out in May, is it? I
May
think?
the 26th.
Yes.
So a couple of weeks.
2 months, 2 months
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the day, I believe.
Has the label got you tied up now, just doing promo all the way through? What's the plans
Actually,
before the launch?
I don't know.
That's about it, really.
Videos
Just
counts
talk
as
to us.
promo, doesn't it?
Kinda. Yeah, we're doing some press today.
We're doing this press thing and Hamburg thing.
Oh yeah, they're flying us to Germany to get locked in a room. And then
You know those escape
Okay.
room things?
Yeah.
Well, the press is going to be in one of those.
we're not.
Don't know whose idea
They're
that
going to
was.
escape from that when we go to the pub.
Is this the German press or just the
through the
whole
wall.
world?
I think it's just like, I don't know.
It's just going to like fake a claustrophobic attack and get out of there.
It's going to be weird, but yeah, we're doing that.
That's an unusual press call. Yeah. Much nicer to stand by a lake with swans on
I
it.
do like these songs.
Yeah.
We should say, guys, we're sending you to a nature reserve where you're going to pet swans and talk about your album.
Yeah, and there was
No.
and a fluffy dog there.
All those
Send
dogs
you
are
to a
great.
federal penitentiary where you'll be separated from the
That's part and parcel of being in the band, isn't it? What expectations have you got for the album? Or are you just going in and going, right, we'll release it and see what
Well,
happens?
we really like it, and we're usually correct about these things.
We're usually
Like,
correct.
we've had it. So far, we've had like a good sense of what our fans would like. And
Okay.
It's always been right. So same
What
stuff.
if it is less popular? And
This album
it won't be,
actually,
though.
compared to the last one, I remember releasing the last one and thinking, oh shit, what if no one likes it? But this one I'm actually so kind of comfortable with, like, it's
Yeah.
fine,
The last one was a kind of
Even if they don't do it
deviated a
Yeah.
bit in some ways.
well, the one before that did.
Yeah,
They've all been. This was.
We had that many albums, Jesus.
we do new stuff on every album.
Just a
and it
little
always
lad.
This
sounds
one's got
good.
good things. It's very
Yeah.
focused, and it's all.
Yeah.
This one's all about little good songs.
Do you think you've now kind of more found your sound and actually honed it on this album then?
I think Well, the sound we're doing, it changes even by song, but there's a sort of a songwriting way that everything's really focused in, in the past we've added bits that were just funny, but now it's like, is it good as well?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If something doesn't work, let's just take it out. Everything's
Every song.
everything's there for a reason.
Well, no, because there was nothing to replace it with.
That's
If
the
we took
thing,
out-
yeah.
If we took out the funny bits, we left it.
Stuff with a drum beat and some notes and bits and pieces. Are you going to be touring it throughout the UK and stuff afterwards? Is there any
We're going to be
clues?
touring it everywhere on Earth.
Yeah, everyone knows the UK is going to come last.
Okay.
Right. Next year.
Maybe like next
Spring.
next March or something.
I need to apply for my Irish passport.
He's back in the queue, unfortunately.
How come last then?
Brexit.
Brexit. It's
Yeah,
your fault.
Brexit.
Just got to go around the world.
Back of the list of trade deals with Alestorm.
Fair enough.
They've got a lot more trade deals to deal with before us.
UK last year, like a year ago, exactly. So
Yeah, we just did that Sabaton thing. Like,
there's no point
so-
doing that this year. So like,
And now we're doing a Hammerfest and download in the
Yeah.
space of a couple of months. So
That's fair enough.
that's everyone in the UK goes to both of those things, don't
technically
they?
the first
So-
gig after
Yeah.
we've released it.
Yeah, it is. First
There you
ever
go
show.
then. First, but also last.
So you're not back at the queue at all.
So that'll be the first one where we do a few new
Oh
songs.
god,
I
that's
guess.
Okay.
dreadful. We should practice.
It's only 11 seconds.
Let's get a rehearsal.
Let's
in
have a
UK.
rehearsal before that, otherwise we'll be the worst.
I've been in the band like 6 years and I haven't rehearsed once. So
Not once.
This will be the first
But this is
time.
the first time we played like 3 new songs.
Nah, the first show of the Sunset Tour we did
Yeah,
3
but
new
we had
songs.
a sound check.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, is that a rehearsal?
Yeah.
The sound check is usually a rehearsal, but our first show this time is a festival, so you don't get like a
No, you don't.
That was my
2-hour
first show,
sound check.
It's just a festival.
Yeah, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But you knew the songs well.
Yeah, we did the songs. That's all that matters.
I saw the artwork for the album. Who did that? 'Cause it's amazing.
Mr. Dan Goldsworthy was his name.
Okay.
He's a man from Aberdeen who is good at drawing.
Did you have any input to it? Or did you
I just
say-
said, well, here's the name of the album. Maybe have a guy who's dead underwater.
Yeah, the title kind of implies like dead underwater pirate. So,
Yeah.
You know what my favourite bit is? Just over the right shoulder of the pirate is a little shark, just between the logo and the shoulder of the
I said
pirate.
that to
That's my
Dan just
favourite
before we
bit.
came on camera. It's like, mate, look at this album cover. He's like,
It would
"Yeah, that's
be
cool." I was like,
nothing
look,
without
sharks.
that shark.
Yeah,
That's Swan's doing a handstand.
What? But yeah, like
He's trying to upstage Alestorm.
so many bands have like really
very
crap
shallow.
album covers where they get like a bunch of photos and kind of merge them together and then give them like a one color hue to make them match, and it's just the worst.
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
It's like the worst
nobody wants to pay like painters anymore. Like everyone's just using weird photos. And
Well, they do it.
That's
They
it,
say,
so,
hey,
yeah, Photoshop
here's a
and stuff.
competition to design our album cover. That's just we can't afford an album art, so we're gonna get. you idiots
It's like
to
my
do it.
idea. Here's a competition to be my drum tech.
Because I need one and I can't
be
pay
asked
you.
to pay you.
Yeah, we pay a man to draw nice pictures, and I like it.
It's cool. It's yeah.
But
They make a great poster.
Every
as well,
other
I
album
think.
before, we've had this other artist, this German guy. So this is the first time we've had someone else.
Okay.
But he kind of did the style pretty good, didn't
knows
he?
what is a good thing to do.
He imitated Nightingale's style, but it's good.
Awesome.
Nice.
So, what's the date of the album and
May
26th.
26th.
and what's it out on? What a label is it going
Napalm.
through? It is
Napalm
Napalm.
Records.
Awesome.
I was about to say CD.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be on all the
Actually, there's like a billion-
There's
yeah.
loads of versions. There's ones where you,
Acetate.
there's one where you get a free rubber duck. So
A free rubber
if you
duck?
go to the Napalm Records website, there's a package of the album that includes a rubber duck with our logo stamped on the side.
There's also one where you
Amazing.
can get a plastic model of the guy from the front cover, but it turns out turning the amazing looking guy from the front cover into a plastic model makes him look a bit.
Bit like he's
Unfortunate.
missing a chromosome.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with you guys. I hope the show tonight goes well. We'll
I'm very
probably
excited.
see you at Download, hopefully.
I hope so.
Cool.
Nice.
Thanks very much.
Tallywhack.
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 The only other person I've heard say tallywhacker is Fred Durst.
Fair.
He likes to use it quite often.
I feel it's like something like Mike Wozniak would say, with some like on
Yes,
Taskmaster
yeah.
or something like that.
He called me right in the tallywhacker.
Yeah.
But swans,
Yeah, no,
swans and seagulls,
we kind of remembered that a little bit differently.
still being.
They were still interactive, but I think it was the band getting distracted halfway through. It's like, oh, the swan's doing a handstand. I mean, is it handstand or is it a wing stand?
It's a head bob with
It's
your
a head
tail
bob.
feathers up, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, I head bob with my tail feathers up.
You were last night.
Very true. If you look at certain footage from Kill Switch Engage, you can just see my tail feathers up in the air. But no, thank you. The thing is you can because we've interviewed them since, and we've seen them do interviews since. You can tell that was just before the album that they were talking about exploded them, and I also think that they probably got a bit of press training as well. Not a criticism, because we also didn't manage the amount of members that we had back in that stage.
But having a 5-member band,
It's tricky to try and actually make sure that you're addressing all of the conversation
and
points.
considering back then we only had one little handheld device with a mic that points that way and that way, whereas now we've got
Tie mics.
tie mics or stick mics that we can actually, even if there's say 3 members of a band, 2 of the members can have one, and me and you could have one and do the other member of the band kind of thing.
Exactly.
Plus sound quality and microphones are much better.
Yes.
8 or 9 years on, the tech has improved so much. So it's phenomenal.
But what was lovely to see is that the reason why Alestorm have done so well over the years is because they're just so genuine.
Oh yeah,
They are exactly what they hold themselves up to be. It's just a bunch of lads still confused as to how they got popular and got signed by Nuclear Blast at the point of that interview in 2017.
Wasn't Nuclear Blast.
That's who they said the album was coming out on.
You sure about that? I thought they said someone else.
No, they said Nuclear Blast. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Prove us wrong in the comments.
A manager's going to check it now, but no, because it was one of the last questions you asked, and they said it's coming out on Nuclear Blast.
I didn't think they said Nuclear Blast. I thought they said something else. But our manager is fact-checking us, so...
So it's the 2017 album. We're just going to riff a little bit.
Came out in May, and for just before download that they played at.
And they were right about, Alestorm fans would probably actually in 2017 have attended HRH or Download.
Yeah.
But now that's, I would say, any...
No, Napalm?
Napalm, yeah. That's what I thought.
Ah.
Yes! Vindication!
Oh, dyslexia kicking in.
It's not even dyslexic, it's your,
No, it's
your
ends.
deafness. You were paying attention to the swans in the background, that's what it was.
I was seeing whether they did another handstand, but also I was listening to the amount of times that they squawked at you through the interview.
There was a lot of swanning about.
I think it was, that was, I think, the last time that we did Alestorm as full members. But also we learned a lot about backgrounds at that point because they got so distracted by the swans.
It looked lovely.
Yeah. I mean, that was the great thing about HRH is we don't have any festivals that are at those types of places, but it's one of the reasons we love Trees is because Trees is set in such a lovely environment. Same, to be honest, with Bloodstock. It has
next to the river. And,
Catton Hall, just one road nearby, so you don't get a lot of that sort of stuff. It's only Download that we tend to, and Reading actually. Download and Reading are the ones that are...
Yeah, Reading's right next to the train station and the industrial sites.
And in the centre of Reading.
Yeah, and Download is international flight path.
And in the middle of a racetrack as well.
Well, yeah, adjacent to now, isn't it? The campsites.
I suppose the campsites are now, because I remember the original setup of Download where you were actually inside the racetrack and you walked on part of the racetrack as moving through like the arena, not just the campsites. But yeah, I got to be honest, it looks like they were right because it did make me giggle. We don't know what track's going to be good, but we're normally right about these things. Turns out they were, because that album did elevate them a bit more.
Oh yeah. And like we said before we played it, they're now headlining stages around the world at festivals and playing the bigger venues, which just goes to show that themed metal is needed, because you've got, they mentioned it themselves, they've been out with Sabaton, but Sabaton do the same thing. Historical.
They're less piratey, they're more history telling ones.
Sabaton, but
your boys in Ice Nine Kills are very horror metal.
Yes, they tell stories about films, but
that type of thing. Yeah,
theming it seems to work for
Steel Panther is probably it's a parody theme, but they have applied, we're gonna take the mickey out of 80s rock with current metal.
It's sleazy. Yeah, it's still sleazy, isn't it?
It's still sleazy.
And
the funny thing is I think there's points where Steel Panther kind of do the same thing. Alestorm going, are we actually popular for this really, on paper, a product that shouldn't work to make you popular? But
Talking of Steel Panther, our friends in Lowlifes are going out on tour with them in the States imminently, I think.
Brace yourselves, Steel Panther, because until you've gone out with the boys in Lowlives, I'm not sure that you've had a tour quite that crazy. Because we used to, hilariously, when Lee Downer, the frontman of Lowlives, was Stitch D in The Defiled.
Another themed band.
Yep, the amount of times that we weren't allowed to record our interviews because they were so hanging that they wanted to use every last second until they had to go back on stage to recover. Because I remember AVD or Lee at one point saying, "It's not a good night out unless we get arrested." So
okay, Motley Crue.
shout out to the Defiled. I genuinely would move heaven and earth to see just one more performance of the full lineup
With the 100 of support.
With the 100, like, we got to make this happen. Old bands that probably, well, Defiled people will remember. I don't think as many people will remember the 100 because they never got quite to the same level.
Well, maybe they opened for Motley Crue at the O2 in London. And
they did. I mean,
did a couple of sets per day at Download that time when they're right at their height. But
if we're bringing bands back, the first two on the level, I'm going to dedicate to local to us ones. Is I would want I Divide an Idiom to open up for the 100 and the Defiled, just so it's everything that I can't watch on stage anymore back in one place.
That reminds me, I must go pay the lottery because then we can make that happen.
Yes.
How much do you want to reform?
But no, shout out to like all of these old bands. Everybody's involved in different projects and doing different things, but some very good moments in time. And thanks to the joys of Spotify, you can go and actually see all of or listen to all of the old products. It's not the same as it was back before streaming services, where if you didn't own the album, it would be very difficult to get into a band that it doesn't exist. So
I think I'm going to listen to the Defiled on my drive home from here.
I mean, I still have Call to Arms and Unspoken as like bangers on my workout playlist.
Oh, I still listen to Subculture by the 100 when I'm working out.
Exactly that.
It's like 20-25 minutes of like hit exercise.
And shout out to Tom Kavanagh as well for the bangers that were on the I Divide album, because Tom Kavanagh is the vocalist. And Follow.
No one will know who we're talking about.
No, but we'll put
local
links to his current stuff and I Divide down below. But Follow was that's on my playlist as well.
There you go.
There we go. So feel free to chuck in comments bands that are no longer around but have bangers on Spotify, and you never know, if we get enough together, then we might dedicate a podcast to it, possibly a playlist, something like that. You gotta let us know in the comments when you do a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We've got quite the Halloween themed deep dive coming up next week, but you are going to have to tune in to find out what we're talking about. And we haven't decided next week's From the Vault, so I can't.
I'm sure we can, perhaps we could find something Halloween based, or one of the bands that we've just talked about.
Defiled, yeah.
Yeah, because we had them play our Halloween ball.
we did have them, and at one point they nearly ripped the head off of our mascot, who's kind of next to the Michelin Man there. So yeah, we will find out, we will decide so that we can tell you on the next podcast what our From the Vault's going to be.
Perhaps now we could actually air one of those interviews that they said, please don't air it because we're so hungover.
Yeah, no, I am going to scour the vault to see what I can find. And if not, we can always do one of the 100 interviews, because those were also pretty crazy when we did those press-up challenge in the middle of an interview.
Yes, that was when they were supporting Papa Roach.
Yeah.
You said they didn't make it as big as the Defiled. It's like, well,
the Defiled did the Iceberg.
Yes.
And they were sponsored by Jaeger.
That's because they were a Jaeger band, but they also did the Jaeger tour with Gojira and Ghost.
True, but 2 albums compared to one from...
an EP,
yeah, so I think Defiled just were around a bit longer, but 100, please come back just to play, like, for me. I don't really need you to play for anybody else. Like, I really need
Come
you
and do
back.
a session in our podcast studio, because we opened the doors to Jake Paul and, of course, to
Logan Paul.
Yes, sorry, Logan Paul, not Jake Paul.
Well,
Jake
Paul
can come, yeah, but more importantly, Joe Hendry.
Yeah, Joe Hendry.
No.
Disappointing.
Do you reckon if we get some tight-fitting silk shirts, that might help?
I mean, probably, because I've had a Joe Hendry-esque haircut for a little bit. So clearly, Joe, you need to be sat right here.
Yeah, I can shimmy up.
Yeah,
we can move the camera back to pan it out a bit.
Yeah.
We know you've got big shoulders.
But yeah, make sure you tune in next week for more weirdness
Halloween
from us.
shenanigans. And don't forget to check our radio show out as well. Links are down there, just below the like, subscribe and notification bell bits.
See you next week.